jumping up and down, 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 down. Yeah, I'm in the pulpit, jumping up and down. Okay. Well, I've been hollering good news all the miles around. My sister jumped up now, ooh, she began to grin. Yeah, she did. Well, my sister jumped up, ooh, she began to grin. She said, good Lord have mercy, please forgive me for my sins. Forgive me now, please, please, please. Now we're gonna lift it up. Yes, we've got to lift it up. Tell me, do you feel alright? Tell me, do you feel alright? Then we can say Lord have mercy and shout. Yeah, we can say Lord have mercy and shout. Then you can clap. Lord have mercy.
Good evening.
Evening.
We're back in Finnegan's.
Oh yes.
Cool. We give you a lot of that tune tonight. If you're listening,
Such a good tune though.
it is. What a tune.
Yeah.
Gonna get me some religion. Gonna join the Baptist
Gonna
Church.
join the Baptist Church.
Church of England don't have tunes like that, do they, Mikey?
No, they don't. Ours are all with an organ though, which it's not really good for the podcast, is it?
No.
No.
Gonna get me some religion. Gonna join the Church of England. I don't know what I'm doing.
And wear silly robes every Sunday and light some candles because no one quite knows why.
It's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's
It's
a
a
good
thing.
thing. It's a good thing though.
Mikey Ferguson's in tonight to
Yes.
co-host.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, mate. Nice to have you. What are you drinking there, Mikey?
A little beer Moretti.
Birra Moretti. Lovely.
What's that? Yours
you can
yours is
see.
smoking?
Mine is actually smoking. It's not one of those fancy cocktails you get abroad, but it's actually hot juice.
Hot juice. It is bitterly cold.
When I look at that, it's actually steaming. When I brought that out into the bar, Mikey looked at me just not surprised, but
It feels a little bit sacrilegious to be drinking hot juice.
I'm suffering
in a bar when we've got this on tap.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I have got a beer on the go there, but
Yeah.
I'm sticking to this. I've got man flu.
You got the man flu.
I've got the man flu. and it's done. You know what,
Guys, let's just pray for Tom. Thank you for Tom. He was a good servant. And as he dies, pray you just be with him.
He's had a good innings. It's a bad bout of the man flu, and it's really hit me hard. But do you know what?
Yeah.
Even when you're ill, you want to get out.
Get the tiny violin for you, mate.
Yeah. You want to get out of the house, don't you? Come out with your mates.
You do.
Come for a drink. So if you're joining us for the first time, and I know some people will be here to watch Mikey, I think, is one of your mates from Australia watching, Mikey?
Yeah, he is. Shout out Charlie
Wow,
Roberts.
do you know what? It's an international crowd tonight because we've got Josh over in Germany as well. I don't know what Josh is up to in Germany, but he's there. It's not Lemsip, Ray. I wish it was Lemsip. But
yeah, me mate Charlie's actually coming over from Australia. I do a fancy football podcast with him, and he said, oh, Mikey, one of the things I'd really love to do is I'd love to go and see Everton. And so I've been flapping about for a good few weeks to try and get tickets. We finally got tickets to go and see Everton. But I did say to him, there's like a much better team across the park that you could go watch. I mean, but I don't know why he's opted to see us get battered by Brighton. But we're going to go see us get battered by Brighton.
I can't believe that he's flying halfway around the world and he's going to watch Everton
get destroyed by Brighton. Yeah.
Fair play to him, though.
Speaking of Church of England, shout out another Finnegan in Finnegan's Bar. It's not spelt exactly the same way.
Is it? Who's that? Peter Finnegan.
Yeah, Peter Finnegan.
Nice to have you in, mate.
Another lad from our church, all right?
Yeah.
Speaking of Church of England.
Yeah.
Church of England massive in the chat.
Pete Smullen's here as well, representing the Baptists.
Man, what a legend.
Ecumenical tonight at Finnegan's.
Love Peter.
What a
Peter
legend.
Smullen.
Very good.
One of the founding members of Trendy NB. That band that we saw the other day. That boy band.
That was good, that.
It was classic.
Go back and check that out if you've not seen it. Well, at Finnegan's, Wednesday night at Finnegan's, if you're watching, you think, what is this all about? Well, basically, every Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we go down to the pub. We go down to Finnegan's, our local.
It's so good.
It's from a secret location. Can't tell you where it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless you're on the guest list. Then you get to
It's right up there with Area 51.
It is. It's a secret location. And so we get together for the evening. It's like when you go to the pub with your mates. They're always the best times. You don't need to have anything to do anything, have any plans. Just come and hang out for the evening. Talk about life. Talk about your problems. Talk about the world. Solve all the issues.
Put it to rights.
And then that's just, for me, that's the best evening. Well spent. And so tonight, Mikey's come in and I don't want to build it up too much, but we have got a mystery guest tonight, Mikey.
And what a guest it is. I can't believe I'm sat in the room with them.
I mean, there's loads in tonight. Numbers are high, and I think it's because
in the comments,
the mystery guest.
In the comments, I want you to guess who you think the guest is.
Yeah, look, Tal's saying, who is the guest? Barbara's saying, hi, Tom. I'm suffering from serious man flu tonight. Barbara, I feel your pain. And she's saying, where's Alan? I said, well, Alan's not here, but we've got a special mystery guest coming. So very good. What's Josh saying? Here we go. I'm just here on a city break in Cologne. Cologne, as they say in Liverpool. Seeing Christmas makers eating food and drinking beer. I come back on Friday. Very good. Oh, Josh, nice to have you, mate. Even though you're in Germany, and he's hanging out with Klopp apparently. Well, Klopp's here. Oh no, it's saying Klopp. Klopp is a special guest.
Klopp is here.
Mr. Blobby. Yeah,
it's
similar.
Close. That's close.
That's warm.
You can't believe how accurate that is. Actually,
Debbie, Santa and his elf. Mike is elf. He is a cheeky chappy. He is a cheeky chappy, but we will get to that. We will get to that. But before we move on, I want to big up last week's episode. So if you haven't seen last week's episode with Rob Thomas, then I want to encourage you to go back and catch up. You can get that on Spotify. You can get that wherever you get your podcast from. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on the Book of the Face. Yeah. And that is, it's great. It was fantastic. Rob, who just he's not sure about faith. He kind of described himself as like an agnostic. He doesn't know. Yeah. But as we were talking about, I just thought the conversation was so interesting.
And that's one of the things that I want to really big you guys up for, because I know you've been doing this podcast, you've been putting a lot of work into it. Obviously, I mean, you just cover your ears, otherwise your head won't fit through the door. But like, I've got to say, like, I've been following the podcast since its inception, and that for me, as like a regular dude from the Dingle, like, you know, who just loves to chat real talk with his mates all the time, like, that for me was one of the best episodes so far, just because of the conversation about faith. And funnily enough, it came from an agnostic. as well.
I loved it.
And it
so
was just
refreshing.
open. It was honest, but it was funny as well. So if you haven't checked that out already, after this, you've got some more listening to do.
Yeah, definitely. And tonight we've got all our usual stuff. So we're going to play Finnegan's Fortunes. We've got Tom's Top Tips. We're going to have our interview with our mystery guest. We're going to have our nugget of the week. And so if you put the funniest comment in the comments tonight, then you're going to get a free ticket. There is a prize. It's a very good one. You're getting a free ticket to Christmas at Finnegan's, which is next Wednesday, the 14th of December.
Prestigious.
At the Packet Steamer. That's the beef eater. Someone said to me,
Michelin star dining.
wow, food's not included in the price of the tickets. So don't be it coming. If you want to have food, book a table beforehand. Your £5 only gets you in for this.
Yeah.
For this. 86 pence booking fee. We've got to, legally, we have to say that because people have been kicking off about it. So
I mean, Ticketmaster, they've got to take their own, haven't they?
there.
They've got to
So
take
Mikey's coming next week.
Yeah, I'm going to be there.
Mikey's going to be there. We've got a babysitter. You're bringing Laura.
I hope so. I hope so.
Mikey has promised that he and Laura will be there. Emma's going to be there.
We're going to make it happen.
We're going to make it out. It's going to be a great night. So you can get your tickets tonight. But equally, if you're Nugget of the Week, then you're going to win a ticket. And so throw your comments up in the chat and we'll see who the winner is. And so people are thinking it might be Joyce. Good guess, Debbie. Teletubbies. Again, it's
not
close.
far off.
It's not. Pete says he's going to be there next week.
He is a bit of a dipsy, this one.
Ray's already bought a ticket, so he said, if I write the funniest comment, will I get my money back, Tom? Funny enough.
I don't think there's much danger of that, Ray. You're not very funny, mate. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, and also, we're not picking you, mate. Very
we love
good.
You, really. We love you.
We love you, Ray.
Please don't unsubscribe.
Yeah, please still come. And evening, Miriam. Lovely to have you.
Oh, yes. Shout out Miriam. Legend.
Very good. So next week, there won't be a Finnegan's live stream because we're in person. So that's what's happening next week on the 14th. So there'll be no Finnegans unless you come to our event. So you've got to come.
Good.
Got to be there.
It's good, mate.
Right. And how's your week been?
It's been all right, It's been all right. I went into a school on Monday, did some assemblies there, talking all about Advent.
Okay.
Because we're all big on our seasons.
Yeah.
In the Church of England.
I like that.
We are very seasonal, liturgical people. It's been pretty good. But then on Wednesday, it sounds dead boring, but something dead exciting came out of it.
Go on.
Was today, I spent about 4 hours organising an asbestos survey of our church. And
wow.
I know what you're thinking. Wow, that's really exciting stuff. And these are the dizzy heights of ministry, the everyday parts of ministry. And, these asbestos people, they have to check like every nook and cranny of the church. They have to find like every single bit and they have to like take swabs.
Do they come in like hazmat suits? So they like...
I was really hoping they were, but they were just like regular guys. I was expecting the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, to turn up.
to show up, and, with their big guns. But anyway, they just popped around and they found like a little old corner cranny going up into the spire of the church.
Yeah.
And there was like a really like little tiny hole, and around the corner of one of the holes was a really old dust covered glass bottle, and it has a piece of paper in it.
What, just
like a message
like
in a bottle. and the thing is, like, we tried to reach it. We tried to reach it.
Did.
Yeah, we tried to get like some litter pickers and all like that, and we can't quite reach it yet. Someone from back in the day has put it there. So what I want to know in the comments, guys, and this might put you in contention for Nuggets of the Week, is what does it say in that message? In our church, up the spire, there's an old nook and cranny, and in there is a bottle that is potentially about over 100 years old. It's got a piece of paper in it. What does it say? What does it say? Get your answer in the comments.
Throw it up in the comments and we'll see. You could be Nugget of the Week. I mean...
what I reckon it might say is I only went to Lou and they've only gone and built a church spire around me. Tell me wife I love her.
It's quite possible. I think... I mean... It's a church thing, isn't it? Where people come and then they're never allowed to leave. And this guy's obviously had to send help. I'm stuck in the church.
Send help. Oh, Pete there, he said, it says, it's coming home.
I think he said, well, it doesn't say it's coming home. Fill this with Phil. Ray says, Phil, can someone fill this with water for me, please?
There's just like around the other corner, there's just this dehydrated skeleton.
Josh could possibly win, although he is already coming.
Oh,
he says, it says if you say Nuga, you're a Tory, which is like 100 years old, but yeah, quite possible.
The ancient prophecies have come true.
Tal's saying, major look, major stare, major lose your underwear. Classic. I mean, back in the day, I think that would have been, and Dave saying, messaging bottle, got you. That'd be it. You'll be like reaching for it. Got it.
I'm going to spend way too much time. I'm going to invest way too much time in trying to get this bottle and seeing what it says. And it's just going to be like, 1-0, lads. It's just going to say 1-0.
Very good, very good. Emma saying, I aspired to more than this. That's as bad as your puns on orange, your orange puns that you were rocking out before we started.
Yeah. I'm doing a Chris Dingle service soon, and I'm getting all my orange puns ready for that.
I mean, I can't believe the Church of England are paying you to come up with these puns. Can you give us one of your orange puns?
Maybe in the next segment, yeah.
See, he's already used that one on me, and it was so good that it passed me by, and he had to like point it out. But Becca's in tonight. She's saying it says you just lost the game.
Oh my gosh, Becca! I just lost the game.
Is Becca? Where's Becca? She's in Spain, is she?
She is in España.
We are international tonight.
Oh, seriously, like intercontinental.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Europe, Australia,
Germany. Top stuff.
That's not a continent.
Sorry. Which continents did you rock out?
Europe.
Yeah.
And Australia.
Australia. That's a country. I thought it was Australasia. That's the continent.
Someone sent Tom back to primary school.
All right. What's the continent that Australia's in? Because I don't. Is it just Australia? I thought it was Australasia. Have I just made up a word?
That's in Risk. You've been playing too much Risk.
Save me, please.
And your man flu's getting to you, Drink some more of your juice, lad.
I think I'm going delirious on Lemsip. That could be a dangerous combination tonight.
Yeah, defo.
Very good, very good. Craig Staples, part of the Lost Scrolls of Netherton. Can you imagine?
Wow.
It's actually not Netherton, though. Where are you from? Where are you?
Well, that's it. That's in Speak.
Speak.
Yeah, in All Saints Speak.
All Saints.
And so,
yeah, dodgy round there, isn't it?
It's going to be.
What a Tory. People just abusing me in the comments. That's all right. And you've missed the point. Emma's just put you've missed the point. What does that mean?
Maybe of the spire. Maybe Emma's still on.
That's what she's saying. Because I thought I aspired to more than this. I thought it was something to do with the water, but it wasn't, was it? It was to do with the spire.
Emma's she's not about to give up a day job.
Emma's critiquing me through the means of
totally
social
here
media.
for the puns.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Thank you, Pete Smullen. Australasia is a continent, although I do think he spelled continent wrong. So maybe it undermines
Peter
the point.
Smullen here, the universal voice of geography
Pete,
and the
I
authority.
Trust you implicitly because he said Australasia is a continent and Australia is the country. So there you go.
All right.
Here we go. Josh has said, my uncle lives in Speak and it's quite dodgy, to be fair. Well, there you go.
I mean, and I'm there now, so it's only got dodgier. Yeah. So.
Right, it's time.
Didn't know we'd finished guessing.
And Ray's just gone with incontinent. Do you know what, Ray? I'm not giving you the ticket regardless because you've already given me your money.
He's about
so
to get
you're
his money
never
back,
going to win. You're never getting your... Oh, no, and Pete said he's dyslexic, so forgive the spelling. You shouldn't have mocked him for the spelling. He's just got dyslexia. Australasia does actually exist. You'd be surprised, Debbie. Not Debbie would be surprised, but do you know what? Okay, only Tories pick out people's spelling mistakes. Let's move on.
They do.
Because our mystery guest tonight, wow.
Oh my gosh, what a guest.
When do you know what? When we started talking about a mystery guest, several people came up to me and said, you just don't have a guest yet, do you? And you're like throwing it out, pretending it's a mystery, trying to stir up some excitement, and you just don't have a guest. And to them, I would say that Alan's in charge of booking the guests. And so obviously you can imagine how regularly that gets done.
And so we asked Alan, didn't we? We asked him to book the funniest, most special, best human being that he knows.
Yeah. And should we see who he came up with?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's welcome to Finnegan's tonight, everyone. It's Alan.
It's
Alan Finnegan in Finnegan's.
I tell you what, you pay. I feel sorry for our guests now having sat over here because it's absolutely freezing over here. You two have got a nice big heater on you and everything over there. You're loving life. The bottle's clearly going to having it. No milk today, please. Isn't it? Let's be honest. And who's ever seen a hydrated skeleton?
Exactly. Well, it's because they didn't get the water from the bottle.
I've never seen a hydrated skeleton anyway. They're always dehydrated skeletons, aren't they?
That's fair.
Come on.
All right. Well,
it's fair. We're now into the ins and outs and the semantics of skeletons.
Alan, the pub is freezing. Can you sort out some insulation or something, mate? This is like
we're in an energy crisis, Tom. What do you want?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
In this financial climate, you're talking like that. You know what, Alan? He really is a Tory, isn't he? Oh, just turn your heaters up.
Yes. Get your ground source heat pump going.
In Hampshire, we have it on all the time.
All right. Well, all I can say, Alan, is people are fuming that you are the guest. People are absolutely fuming. And numbers have dropped off the cliff.
Yeah, flew down.
Well, Laura's in now.
Like
Laura's joined us. She said perfect guess.
Perfect guess.
Mandy said he's been in Britain's Got Talent, don't you know? We do know, Mandy.
Have you been in Britain's Got Talent, Alan?
Have I not told you?
It's never been mentioned.
They reposted it this week, and it was like Christmas has come early for him. He couldn't wait to share it quick enough on social media. It's painful.
Me ma told me it was on, actually.
Did she?
Yeah, she told me it was on.
Do you know what? I've noticed that they don't show the semi-final one whenever they share that
someone
clip.
else did post that one.
Did they?
Yeah, which I was like, loving life with you. Thanks, Debbie.
Yeah. Tal said, could pass for Mr. Blobby.
Yeah, exactly. I was listening to them, Tal, don't you worry.
Mr. Blobby will probably be a lot warmer.
Yeah, that's it.
And a Teletubby and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard you. So
Craig says, I knew it. I knew it was going to be Alan. He knew that we were going to flipping have not got the guests. Yeah, okay. All right.
To be fair, Alan, you are the best person that you know to have booked, so...
Well played, Alan.
I can't go that far, to be honest.
I mean, to be fair, you don't know many people.
No, I don't know a lot. And I would say virtually every guest is probably better than me.
Yeah.
So.
And do you know what?
Alan's booked his only remaining friend.
That's it.
We've literally run out of people I know, so I had to come on myself.
Do you know what? And Josh Dignam has said, and he's got a point here, does this mean that Alan can choose church merch to take home with him?
Honestly... Do you honestly think I want to win some church merch, Josh? Let's be honest. Ray's Horn's safe for another year, I think.
Do you know what I think is the funnier thing, which we're going to get to later on tonight? And this is brilliant. And this is the law.
I know what you're after
this
here,
is
you,
the
Tim
law
Brown.
of Finnegan's, okay?
Tory Tim Brown.
So later on...
It's a takeover. It's a takeover.
Do you know what? Later on, Alan will tell a story which will either get him on the wall or will get him barred. And if he gets barred, Finnegan's is going to get a rebrand. Finnegan's is going to get a rename. It's going to be Tim Brown's Tory...
Wednesday night at Tim Brown's.
Wednesday
where
night
we all wear
Browns.
blue.
Tory Tim's. Tory Tim's.
So there you go. So all I'm saying is...
Your local Conservative club.
All I'm saying is...
Amazing.
It would be. No one has ever been barred from Finnegan's.
All right, let's build it up.
And imagine if the first person ever to be barred was the owner of the pub.
I mean, the irony.
People in the chat, dream dreams.
Yeah.
Seize this moment. This could go down in history.
It could be. It could be. Yeah, here we go. Pete's getting the idea. Hostile takeover.
Yeah.
Tim Brown's Tory Nougat Bar.
Yeah.
Tory Nougat. Wow. That's got a ring to it.
Good job he's bought a ticket as well.
Nougat Bar.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. Okay, well, fantastic.
You know, Pete could be in charge of Brandon for you.
It could be. Pete, you could be in, mate.
You didn't move a job there, and I hear though the Tories, they pay really well.
They do.
As well, so you're going to be minted, mate.
No, they don't. That's the point.
No, they pay their mates. Sorry, they pay their mates
they pay their
really
mates
well.
like 16 million quid, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah.
All right. It's not a political podcast. You
It
messes.
never is when you're at the top of the pipe. Right?
Yeah.
Very good, very good. So I thought Alan would be a great guest. It is a weird dynamic though, being like having.
I mean, we
you
could have
over
just
there.
sat Mikey over here,
Yeah.
and I could have been there.
Yeah,
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, you pushed me in the cold corner.
that's it.
cold
You're one
corner.
step closer to the door. We're pushing you out on the way out.
I've
and then
noticed.
this will-
I've noticed. Yeah.
Well, very good.
I'm not having it.
You know, well, we'll find out, won't we?
New car bar.
Yeah, that's
Coming
it.
to a place near you.
What's going on
I think
here?
it'd be popular.
It's happening.
It's happening. Sorry, Tim's nougat bar.
The Nougat Bar. That has just got a great ring to it. The Nougat Bar.
It's happening.
I tell you what, that is happening.
Hostile
That is
takeover.
happening.
Save us from Tory Tim, people. Come on, save us from Tory Tim.
Here we go. Tao saying she'd riot if it was no longer called Finnegan's, but we'll see. We'll see.
I've never seen a civil war like this since Captain America took on Iron Man.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, it is turning a little bit. No, I'm on Alan's side, says Pete. Never a Tory lad. Go back to Hampshire with your pony. With my pony.
Yeah.
Shetland
I don't know if he's.
pony.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't know if I should say this, but my sister does actually own ponies.
She's the favourite, isn't
That's
she?
it. She is. But
She was born on Christmas Day and everything. She
was-
just top trumps you
she
all
was
the time.
literally born on Christmas Day. What can you do
Yeah.
with that? The parents.
Messianic.
The parents who are Christians, they must have thought with the first one, they were like, bam, Christmas Day. And then I came in June, mid-June. Very
Wow.
good. Very good.
dear.
So we thought we'd interview Alan anyway, because
yeah.
we talked about the comedy before, but also I think it'd be interesting to find out a little bit about, because you didn't, it's following a strange base. He's the worst guest we've ever had, I'm telling you.
The thing is, I don't know when I'm on screen over here. That's
Well,
the funny
that's
thing.
it. Next time you pull that face, I'm going to make sure the camera's on you for that
okay.
moment. I can tell you.
He's got his finger on the button.
So if you've got a question you've always wanted to ask Alan, but he always ignores you when you see him in church because he doesn't talk to people, then now is the time that you can ask him that question and you can find out whatever you want to know.
Ask me anything.
If I think Joyce isn't watching tonight, but she might
She's
have had
not.
some interesting
She's not
questions to
watching tonight.
ask. She's
She's
out and
out.
about.
so we
isn't
can
she?
be honest.
It's
You
our
can be
Rachel's
honest.
birthday.
It's
So,
your- So she's out and about
she's
there.
out and about with that, yeah.
Very
So-
good. She might come out and find out she no longer lives at Finnegan's. That she's been booted out. She's been barred by association.
by Tim Brown.
That's it. So anyway, Alan,
Yeah.
this is how I slide into my interview
Okay.
questions.
Segue.
You'll be segment way.
Segment way.
You'll be used to this. But how did you? Because you didn't come. You're a minister of a Baptist church, which is in itself. We joke.
thing,
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
a strange thing, isn't it? But how did you even end up in a Baptist church? Because you've not come from a family that was going to church. Is that right?
I think
Or-
he got himself some religion, didn't he?
he did.
And then he joined
Joined
the
the
Baptist
Baptist
Join the
church.
Baptist church so that I don't have to work.
It's your life. It's your life song.
It was written about me, that's
That
all.
was.
Yeah.
So
good, that
we've
one.
actually. Do you know what? Alan told me today. There's someone we know.
Yeah, we're
called
trying to get
Lindsay.
it on the pod.
We're trying to get her on the pod.
But she won't come on.
Wells.
Lindsay Wells.
Her name, Lindsay Wells, a friend of Alan's, and Franz Ferdinand. You've heard of Franz Ferdinand?
Come and dances with Michael. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
is that
my
one of their
song now.
songs?
Yeah.
Well, she's got that. She's got a song called Lindsay Wells that they wrote
They
about
wrote it
about her.
Wow.
I know.
because they were in
Is
a
she the
knitting
next
group.
Eleanor Rigby?
She must be.
She must be.
There you go.
So she's got her own song. So we're trying to get her on. So maybe
Hope
that's
she doesn't
Alan's.
die soon. Like,
No.
Yeah, I mean,
it'd be terrible, that, wouldn't it? That'd ruin the pod. Yeah.
Go
Sorry.
on. Oh, sorry. I'm just looking at the comments.
What?
Hey, the questions are coming in.
Oh, questions, dear me.
Oh yeah, Pete's asking about Britain's Got Talent. We've heard about it.
It's
Boring.
yeah.
have you been
Boring.
on Britain's Got Talent?
Briefly.
Briefly, yeah.
Oh,
briefly.
That is brutal. Tim Brown over here.
He's
Yeah.
getting the banter, isn't he? He's
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
into the
yeah.
banter, yeah.
Yeah.
Tom, I've got to say,
Someone
you,
call him rude.
Yeah.
you have upped your banter game,
I
to be
think
fair.
Southerners can't. Even if we do banter well, you just think we're condescending you. I think that's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah,
Do you think so?
probably, yeah.
I think
It's
you
the
have been
accent, innit?
hanging around Scousers a really healthy amount, though, now.
Yeah.
And we are shining through.
Yeah. Good.
Good, man.
Good.
Well done.
Well,
Congratulations.
thank
Keep
you,
it
mate.
up.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, Pete does want to know about Simon Cowell, but we'll get to that. And then I think my daughter said, Alan, did you purposefully try to Did you purposely try to look smarter because you're fully on screen today?
No, I'll put a jumper on because I'm freezing. They've stuck me in the corner where there's a draft.
Very good.
Nobody puts Alan in the corner.
Dear me.
Great. Well, yeah, tell us about that
So
now.
what-
I've
tell
got
you
some
about
questions are coming in. Questions
Okay.
are coming in. But
Tell about how I ended up in the
how
Baptist
did you
church.
end up in church and what did what did you make of all that?
Well, I went to a party and I met this girl.
Oh,
right,
here we go.
who I
that's
kind
how
of
it all starts.
sidled up to, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Smooched me way in there.
Very good.
And
Yeah.
I then found out later on that she went to church and her mum and dad were like, oh, bring him to church. And I was like, oh, it'll be terrible.
Yeah.
It'll be full of wild women with hats on. It'll be boring as, right? And I went just to keep them quiet at the nighttime service. And it was boring as, right? It proper was terrible. But I only went to keep them happy, and then I went to the pub afterwards.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So that was the deal. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll come to church, but then we're going to the pub.
Yeah.
And she was all right with that. Like so that's that was the initial Finnegan's bar start, probably
Wow.
nearly there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
but,
the origin story of Finnegan's.
It is the origin story. The
Every
backstory.
hero has an origin story. This is Alan's.
And they used to do it. There was like this thing, a meal thing, where they'd have like a meal in a pub, and it was up the road, Park Hotel. It was, and it was called the Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International because a Tory started it.
Yeah.
The full gospel. Normally Christians like acronyms. And I'm trying to-
FGBMFI.
Yeah, that just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah.
For
Massive.
Bigma.
Yeah. So there was and so picture it. It's like someone you'd have a dinner and then there's
course
like
you do.
some singing, right? Which I just found really bizarre.
Yeah.
'Cause
Okay.
I got there.
It is
and-
weird though, isn't it?
Oh, it was
The fact that
proper
we all
weird.
sing together.
No, it's not even that, Mikey.
Yeah.
This was like proper charismatic. This is back in
Oh,
80,
right. Oh,
83,
that
84.
type.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, and it was proper like,
So that.
Yeah.
and I'm like sitting there going, they're mental.
So that's what I mean. Interestingly, when we talked about faith last time with Rob, he said when he went to Spring Harvest, wasn't it? And people
Yeah.
were sort of during the singing were lifting their hands,
Yeah.
and that really freaked him out a little
yeah.
bit.
Well, it freaked me out.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But this fella who was taught, and after that, then a speaker gets up and does their story, you know, about their faith and all that. And this fella was an ex-Muslim convert. And I just remember him talking, and I remember thinking, you actually believe what you're saying? Which I know this sounds bad on every other Christian I'd ever met at that point, right? And I don't mean it bad on them because I'm sure they were very sincere. But I was listening to this fella and I thought, you believe what you're saying? You believe this stuff? And I thought to me, and it was at that point I thought to myself, if there's a God, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want to believe it. I don't.
So not just to go through some motions or
Yeah.
like it to be just a routine, but for it to have some significance.
Yeah, because we're
Yeah.
quite an emotionless family, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
We don't really show emotion much. As if you've ever met me, you'll know that. So
fair.
that was the kind of thing that drew me originally.
It's just
And then
real
they
people, real stories, isn't it?
Well, it was Boss what he was talking about.
Yeah.
It was Boss, but then he did the typical thing back in the day. Then we probably still do it at times. I don't know, but it was that kind of okay. So who wants to become a Christian? Put your hands up.
I see their hand.
So yeah,
I see their
I
hand.
see that
I
hand.
see their hand.
I see that hand. And they say that when there's no hands up, just to encourage
Just
others
encourage
to do it.
It's like, you see,
Or they go, "Thank you, thank you," and nothing's happening. I'm looking as well. No one's doing anything.
and they always say to everyone, bow your heads, but I'm proper
can't help
nosy,
it,
so
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't help it. I have a
and they're
little
like, I
look
see
at
that hand, and I'm like, where?
No,
You lying to the people?
no. But
That's not okay, is it?
Con man.
But
Come
they
on.
literally said, "Put your hands up," and I actually put my hands up. I put my hands up, sitting at this table, and I thought, "Well,
Wow.
does that-"
So you responded to
I
what you'd
responded
heard.
to what I heard that night. Yeah.
Wow.
So I put
That's
my hands up, and literally, he then done the next thing that they then do, don't they?
Yeah.
Everyone who put their hands up, come forward.
Oh, that's a proper stitch up, isn't it? Because
And
they
you
know
know-
you might not come forward, but then they know.
You've ordered, you put your hands up.
But do you know what, Dave? I found it interesting because you know when Dave Conn
Yeah.
came the other week, he said Dave's watching tonight, by the way, and Dave actually said, "Why aren't people freaked out when they go to footy matches and people put their hands up cheering and singing?" I guess that would be a similar dynamic in it. People are passionate about what they believe, you know. So that's maybe not what people are culturally used to in
not
churches.
in a church, no. Especially back in the day as well. It's more thingy now, isn't it? In today's sort of culture, it's not. It's not.
I mean,
as
to be
weird.
fair, most footy chants come from old Christian hymns.
Yeah,
don't they?
They've nicked the best ones.
You're not singing anymore. Feed me now and evermore.
Is that it? Is that a hymn?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that what the vicar used to sing at the congregation? You're not singing anymore.
Yeah.
Well, that's the bit they've changed.
But they changed. They obviously changed the lyrics. Tom.
You're not singing anymore. After he's preached.
Harsh worship leader.
After he's preached, you're not singing anymore.
How bad must you be? It's only 5-1. Like Christians getting slain in the spirit.
Yeah.
But Dave was the same, wasn't he? That's why I went down that segue. Was that Dave he found a message was preached and he suddenly found himself at the front and responded. And you found yourself with the hand
I
up.
had the hands up.
But then he stitched you up with the get to the front
but then
bit.
it's come to the front, those who put their hands up, and I'm like, I was painfully shy, still am to a degree. But I literally decided I was like trying to sneak under the table at that point. I was getting lower and lower in my seat, you know. I was and about 5 people got up, right? And he said, there's one more person who put their hands up who hasn't come forward. And I want to die. I literally want to die at this point. I'm like, I don't even believe in Jesus at this point properly. But I'm like, if you're real, take me now.
Save me.
Save me, yeah.
And so what was from his perspective, was he saying there's one more because he was just thinking that's what God was saying to him, that there was another person who hadn't responded yet?
No, he said there's one more person who put their hand up
who
hasn't
so he wasn't
come
like,
out.
he was like,
he
was calling them out.
He was literally calling me out.
Yeah, so he was like,
you know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are.
Come on. He's almost looking at me, you know.
Staring into your soul.
And literally.
That's pretty forward, isn't it? So he's like picking on you. How old were you at this point?
16.
16, yeah.
And he literally, someone got up from the back and walked forward. So I was off the hook. Literally off the hook, right? And so I thought I'd kind of got away with it in a sense. Yeah. But about a week later, I ended up walking my then girlfriend home, who's now my wife, Joyce. And
so was Joyce the first woman the gal who you sidled up to?
Yeah. Wasn't another one. I'm not you. We've all heard about you, Tim.
Let's not talk about that tonight, okay? All I can say is my first week in Emmanuel at the church, and I somehow found myself at the front, and they asked me a little bit about myself, and I ended up telling them about an ex-girlfriend for some reason. I don't know why.
You did.
I don't know why that happened.
Must have panicked.
Yeah,
you must have panicked. He started talking about his ex-girlfriend that he was with before Emma.
And I stood at the front with Emma, and Emma was just like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I don't know. I can't stop."
Is the reality that you're still not over her? Is that what's happened?
I dug myself a proper hole. Joyce, wasn't that amazing? Joyce that's like a love story, isn't it? And you've been
yeah.
So you ended up with Joyce, marrying Joyce, who was the girl.
Not that night.
No.
We're not that
would have been a very strange night. And even stranger.
I got saved and married all in the same night.
Imagine coming home to your parents and that would be like, Mum and Dad, I've got something to tell you. Okay. Yeah, wow. So that was interesting. Yeah.
So I walked there home. And she lived in the other end of Bootle to me. I lived in the Klondike area of Bootle, if you know it. And she lived up by she lived in Kerhardy Avenue, which is a bit posh, semi-detached houses, you know. I was in a 2 up, 2 down. She is possibly Tory blood, yeah. In Ma definitely was.
Wow. Okay.
And we were a little bit early. It was about, I don't know, I think she had to be in at 10 or something like in them days.
Yeah.
And it was about 9:45. So she said, come in.
Okay.
And let's have a coffee before you go home. I said, all right. So we walked in. And as I walked in, they're making a coffee. And there was literally a knock on the door. What are you laughing at?
I don't know. Mikey's giving me eyes, but I don't know what he's doing.
I was going to make a joke about come in and have a coffee. Wink, wink.
It's not Netflix and chill, Mikey.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah, well, I mean, you didn't have Netflix.
We didn't have
back
Netflix
then,
then.
did you?
No, it was just
You had
coffee.
to actually interact.
It was literally coffee. Yeah, and mum and dad were there. Anyway,
That just got weird,
meanwhile, back into the story. I literally, so I went and making a cup of coffee, and there was a knock on the door,
Okay.
and it's getting late to knock on someone's door when you're having and I don't know the order now, but basically over the next 20 minutes, 3 people knocked at the door. And
Okay.
one of them was the pastor of the church that I'd been to and thought it was dead boring, which was Emmanuel Baptist Church, where I'm now the minister. Right?
Wow.
And it's still dead boring. Nah, I'm only messing. Stop kicking off. Right? And one of them was Keith Wells, who was like a school teacher in the area in Editon.
Fantastic.
And the other one was a lad that I knew. You
magician
know
as
Keith?
well.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a
It was
legend.
his daughter who Franz Ferdinand wrote
Yeah.
the song about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a member of the Magic Circle,
He
isn't he?
is, yeah.
We
Oh,
could
I've just outed them.
yeah,
Sorry.
we could have him on.
And then the other one was a lad that I knew called Derek, right? Who'd been talking to me about faith quite a bit, you know, trying to bring me in kind of thing. And so they all come and every one of them said, Derek was driving past on his bike, but the others said, we felt God told us to come to your house. Are you all right, Roy? Which was Joyce's dad.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, I'm fine, because he had heart problems. He died about a year later, the poor fella. But so they said, oh, well, while we're here, and it was weird, all 3 of them turning up. You could have said it might have been a bit of a stitch-up, but
Yeah.
I'll never know, you know what I mean? They all decided that they were going to pray for him while they were there to get healed from his heart condition. Anyway, I'm sitting on the couch with the hottest cup of coffee, because I just want to drink it and get out, because this is getting really awkward. Because they're deciding they're going to pray. So they decide to kneel on the mat in front of the fire.
Okay.
Right? And I'm sat on a couch with a cup of coffee thinking, drink your coffee, go.
Get out.
Right? Get out.
You feel like God is chasing you.
Yeah,
at this
I'm
point.
like, drink coffee, go.
Yeah.
And it's been microwaved or something. It's
It's been
scalding me
nuked.
mouth. Right? So anyway, they start praying, and one of them prayed in what's called tongues.
Right.
Some people might not know what that is. Just think Harry Potter with the snake. Similar.
We can't mention
Right.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Oh, we can, but of course it's a kick-off, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of them speaks in tongues, which is
Little parcel tongue. Cheeky bit of that.
yeah. And I've sort of heard that in the week before in this mad meeting where they were all hands in the air and it was all bizarre and I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Right. And I've had a conversation with Derek about it. And he was sort of saying to me, no, it's a heavenly language given from God and all that type of stuff. So I wasn't as freaked out as hearing it there and then,
Yeah.
but I was just freaked out with the situation.
Yeah.
But after they finished, they all just turned around, looked at me, and one of them went, God said we've got to deal with you first.
Wow.
I literally wanted... I wanted to get...
swallow me
Yeah, I
whole.
wanted the
Yeah.
couch to swallow me up, really.
Wow.
But what happened... I'm making this sound bad, and it wasn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
What happened that night was they explained the gospel story to me.
Wow.
So they sat me down and talked about Jesus coming to earth, being born and living and dying on a cross and raising again 3 days later to save us. So they explained that story to me, and I would have done what would have then been called a sinner's prayer. You know, repeat after me, forgive me of my sins, blah, blah, blah. I accept you into my life. All that kinds of stuff. And yeah, I meant it. So it wasn't I was all right. And
No,
then,
you've been faking it all these years.
and then I ran home because I was late by this time. So I'm running home, and I got stopped by the coppers for running down in boot,
No.
running in the middle of the night. They thought I was robbing houses, and I'm like, no. I've just found Jesus. And they were like, okay, be on your way then.
That's like the best way of getting out of trouble, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I've just become a Christian.
Just found Jesus.
The coppers are like, yeah, sure, empty your pockets.
Yeah. He did say it to me like, 2 coppers, yeah.
I've heard this one before.
So that's how I started. And then I went to Emmanuel Baptist Church then, because that was the church
Well,
that
yeah.
they
Yeah.
went to, you know what I mean?
Wow.
And I've been there ever since. That was
Wow.
like 39 years ago.
And that, I mean, it's significant, isn't it? There's as a Christian, like when some people say, "Oh, you hear God speak," or like an audible voice or whatever, and for me, I've never actually heard that. And sometimes I can go for a while where I kind of feel like maybe I'm not as connected with God as I might hope. But like for me, there are significant moments in my life that I can still look back on and just say, yeah, that was a key moment in my life. And for you, like those 3 people turning up randomly to pray or just feeling like they were supposed to go there. I mean, that's got.
It sounds like a parable that Jesus told, and then the boy went into the house, and first the local priest showed up.
Yeah, it's the Good Samaritan.
And except no one got beat up, and the police turned up in the end.
So that's how it all started.
Yeah.
And then I just started going to church, and it was still a bit dull in them days. Although I was all in. I was all in straight away, telling me mates and everything. You know what I mean?
Wow.
They all thought I was mental.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I didn't see some of them for 20 years after that.
So you were like keen. You were so keen because you'd experienced something.
Proper keen.
Something had happened to me.
You wanted to tell your mates about it, which I'm assuming was probably not potentially a popular message down the pub to tell your mates.
No. And so something had happened, but I didn't quite know what had happened to me, and I didn't have the kind of sort of Bible background knowledge. I knew some stories because one of the teachers in school used to make us do them instead of letting us play football, which is why I didn't like them. If you get what I mean. I wanted to play football, and he was telling me about Moses and stuff. And proper annoying. On reflection, thank you. But no, he's passed away anyway.
God bless him.
So I didn't know what, and I had loads of questions after that, and I used to get on people's nerves asking questions all the time. And then I couldn't read very well. I still can't, to be honest. And so I started reading the Bible, which was sort of teaching me to read as well, which was weird, if you get what I mean. Because I'm dyslexic like Pete, you know, so when you're skipping Pete before you're skipping me as well.
I don't know why you did that, Mikey. It's really
I can't believe you are pinning this on me. I'm gonna get a clip of you saying that, and I'm gonna post it on every single bit of social media. I'm gonna get you cancelled.
Mikey, it's not okay. Okay,
you are getting cancelled.
I'm speaking truth to power and telling you, Mikey, this is not okay.
Speaking truth to power.
Don't you come here with your Church of England ways and try to
bamboozle
us with long words that we couldn't spell.
Like Advent.
You're like Advent. These long words like Advent. Oh my days.
Chris Dingle. I thought he was off Emmerdale.
Chris Dingle.
Very good. Very good.
Belter.
Here we go. I saw there's some good questions in here. Let's have a look. Okay, Laura Ferguson.
Who's that?
I don't know. She's brilliant though. She was
Some
a
weirdo.
good episode of that.
Yeah.
Laura said, Alan, can you share something that's pleasantly surprised you about becoming a Christian?
You know what? While Alan thinks of his answer,
Yeah.
I'll tell you something that's pleasantly surprised me about being a Christian.
Go on.
Is quiche.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, like every
That
time
old-
you go to a Christian bringing chair,
Yeah.
there's quiche.
that's on offer.
I used to think quiche looked minging, so I never tried it.
Yeah.
And then one time I went to a church buffet,
And
all there was quiche.
that was the only
And
option.
I ate it, and I went, oh, you know what? It's not bad. That's
It's not bad.
pleasantly surprised.
Why do they call it quiche Lorraine? I was like, is that like
Because
made
someone
it.
called Lorraine.
like Lorraine?
Lorraine's made quiche.
Lorraine's made quiche.
And then
Wow.
our Scousers we short and everything.
Yeah. that one's so good. We're going to name it after it.
Yeah. Well, that pleasantly surprised me, but I'm sure Alan's got a more serious answer because he's a serious guy.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
Pleasantly surprised. I guess I'm pleasantly surprised by people.
Oh, go on.
So sometimes people who you least expect it from do the best things.
Okay.
I guess the other way around can be true as well. But that pleasantly surprised is when you just see glimpses of stuff in people. It's hard to explain without sounding absolutely horrible. But you're not expecting these people to be much good at stuff sometimes, or you don't expect their kindness and godliness in a sense. And because they don't look that way most of the time, but there's something about God in them that just bursts through at occasions. I find it when I do funerals for people, and you find out about their life. And because we had a funeral this week of Eleanor Hamilton.
Eleanor, yeah.
And
a significant person for you guys as well, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And she's just awesome. We actually named our daughter after her, Eleanor.
She prayed for you every day.
Every day?
Yeah.
Every day.
Say that story.
Tell it.
Yeah. Like, and it's just like, for me, like, I grew up coming to Emmanuel Baptist Church, but I was never really
defected.
Yeah, I did. I did. I did, but I, like at one point, I fully defected to like atheist territory, you know, and I kind of, you know, went in and out with God, and you know, I had lots of questions about not just suffering in the world, but like also my own suffering.
Yeah.
I was like, why do I have to go through all of this?
Yeah.
You know, and then one day, I prayed that God would help me because I was being bullied at school.
Wow.
And you know, I was really struggling at the time. And then one day when I was walking out of school, I saw my head of year walk past, and she was marching like the three main culprits who were bullying me every single day. I was like, bye, Miss Chester. And she was like, I can't speak. I'm just taking these lads to go and get expelled. And I'm not saying like the bullying stopped, but like at that moment, I was like, wow, I've been praying that they'd stop picking on me. And you know, naughty kids get expelled. It's not exactly, you know, you could call that a massive coincidence. But, you know, at that point, like I was like, right, I need to start taking church more seriously. And so I went back to church. I gave my life to God. And Eleanor said to me, she was like, Mikey, that's fantastic. Like, I'm so glad you're back. You know, I've prayed for you every day since you came here at like when you were 8 years old. Wow. Or whatever. Like, well, I would have been younger than that, but at the time I was about 14, 15. Yeah. And so for like about 10 years, I think, like she would have known me and she prayed for me every day. And I eventually got baptized, got dunked by the big man, you know. And
by Alan.
Yeah.
Alan dunks you, baptized you. Did he?
Back in the day.
Used to do some back in the day.
Yeah, very good.
And at that point, like I think, you know, I can really resonate with what Alan was saying about I was all in.
Yeah.
You know, I was just like, what I've got is amazing, and I you know what, I preached about this the other week. We've got this thing in the Church of England called the lectionary. It's another big word that Alan can't spell. Yeah. I'm about to get cancelled again. but the passage was all about like, remember what it was like when you first believed. And then the other passage in the lectionary was about how good it is to tell other people. Yeah. And I was like, so what is it about like what happened when you first believed that I want to pass on to other people? And it was the fact that like I had a bit of hope. Wow. You know, I thought it was awesome. Wow. It's awesome. But like the fact that Eleanor prayed for me every day still blows my mind, and she's a person that I want to aspire to be like. Yeah.
Incredible Christian. Like, do you know what I mean? Like some people who like sometimes there's the mistakes I make in life and I think, oh flip, everyone knows I'm a Christian and I've done that. But then for her, like an incredible, Mandy said, actually, here's Mandy saying, as kids, we would run to give Eleanor and Valerie with our photo cards at Christmas, knowing they would pray every day for us throughout the year. Yeah.
We used to print them out for Sunday school kids and to give to someone to pray for.
And they actually did it.
Wow. As well. Incredible. What were you saying? Where did we get?
Well, we had her funeral, didn't we? Yeah. And it was amazing to hear her life, because I've known her a long time, but not known her, if you get what I mean. Yeah. And you hear some of the testimonies of people who weren't churchgoers. So she used to work in the police as a secretary for the chief constable or something. And there was some of her ex-colleagues there, and they were talking about her integrity, her happiness, her smile, and everything about her, the positiveness about her, weren't they, if you remember? Yeah. And it's fabulous hearing these things. And she was one of the quiet ones who just was in the background. And yet she was like a massive pillar. And so that's when I'm pleasantly surprised. I did another funeral for another long-term member of our church that passed away. And in some ways, you can sometimes remember them when they're a bit older and they're less active. Yeah. So you haven't seen them doing stuff, but then you find out about their lives, and incredible people. So people inspire me. I'm pleasantly surprised by people, because I'm I'm an idiot sometimes, you know what I mean? So it's
No comment.
So to finding out these incredible stories of people's lives is just really, it's inspiring. And they're not the upfront people, is what I'm trying to say.
No.
They're not the ones who stand with a microphone in their hand and look good or whatever, even if they're not. Do you know what I mean? They're not them people. These people I'm on about, they're the ones that pleasantly surprise me. I've done a few funerals. I'm thinking of 3 in particular at the moment, but I think that's what pleasantly surprises me.
That's
Sorry.
so good. I mean, people were asking. I think Tal was. Someone was asking you what was your favourite weddings or funerals to do, and I was saying like actually Alan is like the way you do funerals is something else. Like, I've been in funerals with Alan where I mean one particularly I'm reminded of the guy who passed away had picked literally he wanted Highway to Hell on the way out the music, and during the bit where the family get up to say something about him, the family got up and were just like, he was horrible. He was a horrible person. And I'm like sat about like, oh wow, this is a little bit awkward, you know. It's not quite my experience of funerals, but then like to watch Alan like pull it together and like make something beautiful out of it, and actually a real healing thing. It is a gift, mate. It is a real gift. That
I think I'm better at funerals than weddings, Sal, but I've done more funerals than weddings. You don't do loads of weddings in that. It's not the picturesque church for the pictures.
No.
Is it?
Alan actually
did
he did the funerals for both my nan and my granddad when they passed away, and I just like it's a proper celebration of someone's life. You know, usually not when they're like absolutely berating them for being a horrible person. Like usually when someone's died, we remember the good stuff. But like I just remember being in that crematorium and we were just crying laughing at like some of the stuff that you just pulled together, and it was just perfect. And I think that's one of the things is like, even if someone hasn't lived a perfect life or whatever, like there's always hope and there's always something to smile about. I think that's definitely
well, everyone has gems in their life.
They do.
Everyone. I mean, I was literally doing a funeral of someone and I found out that they'd almost virtually minded, and I don't mean minded, I mean brought up everyone's kids in the street because their parents couldn't cope and things like that, so these would just say, let them live with us for a bit.
Wow.
I was just like, I was flabbergasted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they don't publicise this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm pleasantly surprised by people all the time.
Very good.
I was pleasantly
easy
surprised.
To book.
Yeah.
Judge your book by its cover. What you see and think.
I'm really pleasantly surprised all the time. I think like this week we haven't had a worship band in our church for ages.
Yeah.
And we. Like I put the beacons out. I lit the beacons. I was like, guys, we need a worship band in our church. We can't just keep playing a CD every week. And some of the people that showed up and like the gifts that they offered was just boss. I love church.
It's beautiful.
We're just working our way through life,
It's also a complete mess, isn't it? If I'm honest. Like...
Listen, I've done that, Mikey. That didn't always work out, lad. I've had people. I remember sitting in a prayer meeting, and this is going to make me sound horrible. Right?
Oh, here we go. Is this the point where I'm supposed to try and stop you from telling your story?
No, I'm going to tell you it anyway. I remember sitting in a prayer meeting while someone was playing, their musical instrument as part of it, and I was literally sitting there with my head in my hands, praying, God, kill one of us. Someone has to die here. Please let it be them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I want?
And that was a serious prayer.
I
meant it.
Yeah.
It was that bad.
Oh man,
I heard a story.
There are definitely people who think that they can play but they can't.
And you want to encourage people. That's what we're all about with church.
And you're just like,
sometimes you need to be Simon Cowell, don't you? And just go, nah.
It's a no from me. Like full dragons then.
I did hear the story of, because drums and that, I guess that kind of drums, electric guitars, a bit like Coldplay worship is a new thing in some churches. And there was a guy who went to drum at a church, and obviously he'd done his best and all that, and afterwards one of the members of the congregation came up to him and he thought, sweet old lady, she's gonna have some lovely little words of encouragement. She said, every time you hit that drum, it's like Satan is hammering me on the forehead.
That is brutal.
I thought, wow, that's a little bit.
I think that's a no from here.
That is brutal.
That is definitely a no from her, isn't it? But here we go. Let's see what people are saying. Laura saying Quiche be with you.
And also with you.
Yeah, and also with you. Quiche and Schlur. Schlur is the other
Schlur is
Christian.
Yeah, there's something I never knew what that was. Yeah,
That's only sold to Christians, isn't it? That is their
no one else
sole
buys
market.
Schlur.
No one else has
no
The thing
one
Schlur.
is, though,
else in the
Jesus turned water into wine, and the Christians have been trying to turn it back ever since.
Into
Into
Schlur.
Well, they just settled for Schlur.
Very good. Very good. Oh, Tao was saying, what is the hardest thing? Yeah, was it Tom playing? My dad said, no, it wasn't me, Dad.
No, it wasn't. It's someone who's no longer around.
Tao said, what's the hardest thing? Hardest thing about being a minister? Maybe quickly, because I've got another question I wanted to talk to you about quick.
Okay. Hardest thing about being a minister is dealing with people. So people surprise you the most, and they also disappoint you the most.
Yeah.
Now, the hardest thing for me, Tal, is when you're dealing with someone whose life's it's upside down, it's a mess, there's things going on, it's not great, or you know, something bad's happening, and you're involved with that, and then someone else somewhere else is having the best amazing time, and you're involved with that as well, and it's them bipolar kinds of positions where it's like your head's still messed up in other stuff, but you've got to be both all the time, and so you're not just dealing with one problem, you're dealing with loads when you're the minister of the church.
It's the worst, isn't it? Because what people try and do sometimes is they try and like triangulate you, you know, and they try and like put you against them and them against the other. And one of the hardest things for like people to accept sometimes is like, I have to minister to both of you. I have to support you both, even though you're both being proper horrible to each other. So can you both just pack it in? Like that's one of the hardest conversations to have.
Yeah, I would say that's the hardest thing. As in the emotional swings. And never, this is going to sound really funny because everyone thinks we only work on a Sunday for an hour. Never being off.
Never being off, no.
Never being off is another thing. You're never off. Your phone's always on.
Yeah.
You're always contactable, although I don't always answer mine.
Nenever answers it.
That's a little bit healthy. That's a little bit healthy, though. You know.
It is, yeah.
You've got to put the do not disturb on sometimes, haven't you?
But apart, so not being off, even when you're on holiday, you're not off, your head doesn't switch off. You're always still thinking things through and thinking problems through and thinking the next stage through or thinking the next talk that you have to do because they come around every week.
Without fail.
There used to be 3 times a week at one point. So yeah, they're the hardest thing about being a minister.
Sometimes I wonder.
Swings between.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder, what was God thinking? Like picking me, like you really want me to be a person who has to get up in front of like about 100 people every week and try to think of something really profound to say?
Well, honestly, I said it on Sunday when I was talking Sunday. We were doing Advents, and the theme was love.
Oh, so you do know how to spell it?
No, I can say it. The theme was love, and I remember I started by saying, you know, when you've been somewhere so long and been the minister for so long, it's really hard to say anything new.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mate, I wanted to touch on, and I kind of had your permission to talk about this before, but it was Rachel's birthday today, isn't it?
Yeah.
And basically, a year ago, you found out that you had the cancer in the eye.
Happy birthday, Rachel.
Happy birthday, Rachel.
That's a little party pop-up.
But like walking that journey, and so today you had a scan, didn't you? Again, because the treatment
on her birthday,
on her birthday. The treatment, you know, in the cancer in the eye was successful, you know, and helped reduce it. But you've got to continue to have these scans, and obviously there's a risk then of, you know, the cancer spreading or returning. I'm not trying to get you down or something. This isn't the first time you're hearing this. You've heard this. The doctor said this.
Yeah, you're saying it better than he did, to be honest.
I just feel like, Tom, you really need to work on your bedside manner, mate.
You should have seen the fella who told me. Honestly, he's German, so he just went for it.
Direct.
Super efficient.
And we are going to be talking about cancer a little bit now. We need to put a disclaimer out there. It's a horrible disease. My dad died of it. It's not nice. I've seen lots of people. I've sat at bedsides of people who've died. It's
evil. It's an evil disease. It's one of those diseases, evil. You know, as Christians, where we see there is good and there is evil in the world. Disease like that is evil.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're not skitting cancer.
No.
But we're talking about my journey with it, you know, and getting eye cancer. I didn't see that coming, to be honest.
Nice. That was. It's slightly
You can't
better.
just go from that disclaimer into a pun about it straight away. Because I'm sat there like, Tom, get the camera off me. Get the camera off me, Tom.
Mikey, that was even too fast for Mikey.
He literally just told me, and he's like, yeah, well, I can save your eye and all this on, and but we need you in the next couple of days to do an operation on you.
Oh, wow.
And then I said, I can't come in. My daughter's getting married on Boxing Day. I'm going to that.
Wow.
So they pushed it off a little bit. And anyway, I had to go in and have an operation on my eye.
Wow.
Weird thing. I won't go into that details because it's a bit squeamish. But I've been getting checkups ever since then. And part of it, because I've got a particular gene, it's likely to come back and stuff like that. It's amazing when someone has a look at the chart. This was your life before this conversation. This is it now.
Yeah.
What, like a life expectancy type thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he just like said it, because I'd said to Joyce, because she didn't come with me the first time.
Give it to me straight, Doc.
Yeah. Don't sugarcoat
He
it.
literally
Don't
said
pull your punches,
the
mate.
first time it was bad enough, and I was thinking, wow, he needs work on his bedside, man, and him. And then the second time, Joyce came with me, and he was like, yeah, so this is your life expectancy for the next, this is what it was, and this is what it is now.
Wow.
And it was like 50% less. Right?
Wow.
And he was like, so, yeah, okay, any questions?
Yeah. Wow.
And Joyce was like, I see what you mean about his bedside manner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But honestly, what a journey, because we went out. I literally come out, Danny picked me up. Danny's in a little bit of bits because he knows about it. We hadn't told the girls. We told him I was going for a scan. And literally, he picks me up and he's like, he's been crying because he knows I've got cancer by this time. And he's got the radio on and it's got Merry Christmas, everyone. Honestly. I went, Danny, turn that over, will you, lads? And he went, oh, I'm sorry. And then, don't say a prayer for me now.
Duran,
I'm not messing.
Coming in.
I'm not
the best
messing.
moments.
And it was so, I was just like, wow, this is funny as.
Well, I'm glad you were taking it well.
Yeah, well, I get home and we have to tell people, and I had to tell the girls, and Joyce knew, obviously, I told her first. And Joyce, we're sitting there, and Joyce goes, we used to have a dog that got put down in lockdown. And she said, just been thinking, we might get another Labrador now after all, mightn't we? Harsh!
It's like a guide dog.
Brutal! Guide dog! Yeah.
Savage from Joyce.
Wow.
Oh, literally, yeah.
Wow.
But no, all jokes apart, I've had
yeah.
the treatment, and that's gone, I'm assuming, as good as it can. I don't ask a lot of questions. I'm a bloke. I don't ask questions. And then I come home and she said, did you ask this? Did that? No. What did he say? I can't remember. Yeah. The last time I went, he said a load of stuff to me, and I literally went, is that good news? He went, yeah, it's good news. Really good news. I went, sound, I'll remember that bit.
Yeah.
Right? So but I have to go for scans every 6 months on part of my body to make sure, because it hasn't spread. So I went for one today. I don't get the result. But again, that's another thing, innit? You go, and these are radiographers. They know what they're looking at.
Yeah.
They could give you the wink, couldn't they? You know, it's all right, mate. Crack on. Order out the catalogue, you'll be fine.
So they do the scan.
Do the Klarna,
but they don't then give you the. You have to wait a week for the result.
I've got to wait a week for the results.
But you're reading. I imagine you're reading into what they're then saying, like like, oh, are you looking forward to Christmas this year? And you're like, why?
Yeah.
Everyone's a precious one, isn't it? Oh my God! It's literally, but they literally said to me, and my mother will be watching this. She'll be now panicking. Mother, I'm all right. Just calm down. Right? They literally said to me, so have you got an appointment with your doctor? And I'm looking at them and I'm second guessing them. And I went, no. Should I?
Do I need one?
And they go, oh, well, the results will be out in about a week.
Yeah.
They'll probably phone you. I said, that's what they did last time. Yeah. So another week. Yeah. So it's, I'm on that kind of journey, but I guess I don't know whether you're asking me about faith in that.
Well, I was just going to ask you, Alan, news like that, it's got to rock you.
Yeah.
And so what does that do for you and your faith?
Well, I am getting older and I've got loads of diseases, right?
You're just collecting them.
Just
like
name it, I've got
Pokemon
it.
cards.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have to pay for prescriptions anymore.
No.
I've got that many diseases,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'm all right. But what it does is, what it did for me anyway, it kind of makes you, I am older, but it makes you realise your own mortality a lot more. So you start thinking about that a lot more.
Yeah.
Or pondering it more than thinking about it. I'm not like thinking about dying all the time, you know what I mean? But you ponder your own mortality. And then that makes you ask bigger questions of life. And so I would say it's made me think about, and this isn't in a grandiose type of way, but legacy. What's my life going to have done?
Yeah.
You know, because even if I live, you know, and don't die of cancer, die something else, I will die. None of us is getting out of this alive.
No,
do you get what I mean? So it made me think about what is it that I'll have done with my life in terms of that. And so yeah, it does make you sort of ponder them bigger questions, I think, of life. Is there more to life than this? To which I would say yeah. And what will my life have counted for when it's over? Because that day, I guess it comes quicker than you all think, because as you get older, it does seem to go faster. Life seems to go faster. When you're a kid, you don't kind of get it, you know what I mean? You're indestructible, aren't you? You know, but
Immortal.
Yeah. So yeah, but in terms of faith, this is where the rubber hits the road, isn't it? When stuff happens to you, this is where your faith is sort of worked out. That's what it's about, isn't it? You know, you don't just, should I trust God in the good things and not accept, you know, it's the Job stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
So in terms of faith, this is where your faith really stands.
Yeah.
In a real earthly type of way. I don't mean in a nonsensey type. Well, I don't want to say nonsense because I'm not trying to diss anyone. But I mean in a real earthly, practical way.
Yeah, and that's kind of why, like, Jesus really speaks to me as like, you know, someone who, you know, God who became human. Like, that's what we remember at this time of year, don't we? And like, and think about like the mess that involves, like, and we talk about like the rubber hitting the road. Like, Jesus lived like a very real human life in one of the most roughest political climates of his time, and you know, he had to deal with some very horrible people. Like, he was betrayed by his best friend.
The Tory party down then as well.
Yeah. I know. Well, yeah, exactly. He was, and he was, you know, proper rejected by some religious elites in some fancy robes. Wait a minute. No, but like, seriously though, like, and I think that for me is like how I know that, like, when I go through very real stuff as well, I feel like Jesus is with me. Because I know that like Jesus went through it as well. Like, you know, he lost people. You know, he like one of his best mates like denied he ever even existed. You know,
faith is sometimes leveled at like the charges maybe that it's a crutch for people.
Yeah.
But like I think it's the Alpha course with like Bear Grylls, like who that Alpha have used into like sell Christianity a bit like Joyce sold it to you in that church all those years ago. So you know,
except for Joyce doesn't drink her own.
No, we. Not that I'm aware. But so on the Alpha,
she's not been trapped. She's not been trapped behind the church spire long enough.
No, that's it.
Putting messages in bottles
from before
for future generations.
But so that in that Alpha bit, you know, Bear Grylls rocks up and he's like on the beach with his top off, you know, selling Christianity to the ladies, and I'm feeling very inadequate. But he's talking. He talks about
Speak
faith. That thing about faith being a crutch, and he said actually, we all need a crutch in life sometimes, and that doesn't mean that it's not. Yeah. And I think when you get that kind of information, when you get that kind of news, and you're faced with immortality, I think I need hope. I need you know, something that's real and tangible at this time in this life. You know, something for this life, something for beyond this life, and that's what I'm finding in Christianity. It doesn't mean that I always like.
Yeah, it's not all roses.
No, not at all.
It's not all life. Happy, clappy, smiling people.
Yeah.
What's the song? Shiny, happy people
Holding hands. Yeah.
You know, it's not all that, is it?
It's
It's not all that. Life. Every one of us, whether you've got faith or no faith, has the ups and downs of life.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, definitely.
And I guess, what's been happening to me, it makes me lean into me faith a bit more. You still have questions, you still have stuff going on in your head and all that, but it's made me lean into it a lot more in terms of reading scripture, which speaks into situations of comfort.
Wow.
You know, and reading scriptures which also asks all them tough questions, like "Where are you, God?" that type of stuff. And so for me, it's made me lean into faith more in a different way, probably in a more serious way, because it seems a bit more urgent.
Isn't it crazy the way this like 5,000-year-old book like still speaks to us in brand new ways?
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
It's great.
What
You
a
can read
book.
the same passage, can't you? And then suddenly
And it means-
spot something brand new in it.
Yeah.
And Rob was talking about that last week, wasn't he? And he had some like fairly, from someone who's not of faith and not expecting. He's kind of like, what is this book written by people from thousands of years ago got to say to us? But as Christians, I guess we hold that up as this. There's something that God has spoken through this, for me,
chooses to still do
and
so.
still does so. And that's the thing, in it, that even people still reading that today, and myself included, and finding that it comes to life on the page.
You're the Arsenal fan.
Yeah, go
Saka on social media has gone mad today, hasn't it? About him saying he reads his Bible
I saw
every
that.
night.
Yeah, that was
I saw
amazing.
that.
Even in Qatar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the comfort it gives him and that, and then he knows God is with him, kind of thing he's saying.
And do you know what? That's a sure
public
sign.
figure.
Yeah, it's a sure sign we're going out in the next round of France, aren't we?
And he's going to miss an open goal.
Yeah, and everyone's going to blame the Christians.
Yeah. do you not think he dodged the question though a little bit though?
He didn't name a Bible verse, did he?
Yeah,
No,
they
he
were like,
didn't
what's
name
your
a
favourite
Bible
Bible
verse.
passage?
Yeah.
And he was
What
like,
passage do you read for
I
that?
love the whole Bible.
Yeah.
That one about God.
Yeah. It's powerful.
credits
Isn't
to
it?
the lads.
No, it's massive
Fair
that
play
a
to the
public
young-
figure like
young
that,
lads
a
to
young
go for
public
that.
figure
To
like
be
that,
so young as well.
was actually okay with saying it.
Yeah, I
You know
love
what I mean?
that.
Because
Yeah,
it's not cool to be a Christian, is it?
No.
Not in our culture. It's not cool when you're a footy player to be one. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but hats off to the Arsenal lads.
I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just
Well
looking at
played.
some of the comments,
Bukayo Saka.
how people appreciating what you're sharing, mate. And
Yeah.
what was it? Here we go. Mike saying the power of prayer is probably bigger than faith, yet they both go hand in hand. I think what
Prayer and
what
faith,
is I guess for Mike and what Mike's saying there, what we're saying there, power of prayer. I think for you, it's got to be real, hasn't it? The faith has got to be real.
For me,
the
it's
stuff.
got to be real stuff. It can't be airy fairy pie in the sky stuff.
No.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, I know lots of people who are kind of live that way in a sincere way. I'm not getting into people like that. But for me, I'm a very pragmatic, practical type of person. You know, so faith has to be that for me as well. And don't get me wrong, I've prayed. I was telling Tom earlier before this that I got somewhere like mad healing evangelist got me up in this meeting once, and his reason for getting me up was God can use anyone to heal someone. I'm not messing.
And so he turned to you.
So he got me on the main stage, about 400
Yeah,
people
look,
there.
here's someone who looks like the second stage of human evolution.
This is this fella here. Look, God can even use him. Right? So he got me up and he asked me to picture something and all that. I'll cut the story short, but I ended up praying for a fella who had cancer in his stomach.
Wow.
Right? And I just, again, because I'm shy, I just want to be off the stage. I don't want to be on the main stage praying for this fellow to get healed from cancer because I've got no faith at that point. I'm thinking it's important that I should have some faith. I've literally got, well, maybe very little. So I sort of just prayed for him, put my hands on his stomach, pray for him. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
I go back and sit down. Anyway, year later, I'm at the same conference. The fella comes and says, I got healed last year of stomach cancer.
Wow.
So I'm not saying I don't believe in all that. I do. I really do. But because I've witnessed it, but I'm also very pragmatic as well. You know what I mean? As well.
I think it's really good what you're saying about this whole pie in the sky stuff. I think as Christians sometimes we can get too focused on the pie in the sky stuff, and that's like, it always reminds me of Jesus. Like, you know, the teachers of the law, they're coming to him, like asking him like, what happens at the resurrection and what happens this when we die, and Jesus just he turns to them and goes, I'm the God of the living, not the God of the dead. And then he starts talking about heaven on earth. And I'm like, wow. I just think that's super powerful, good. You know?
Yeah.
Mate, so, thank you so much for sharing all that stuff, mate. I think
it's amazing. Thanks, Alan.
Really,
no worries.
Yeah.
And just to say,
still
by
freezing.
the way,
it's getting colder.
Yeah. And just to say, like, people at home, you know, like, I know we're joking and stuff like that, but like at the same time, you know, we're just like very real people who, you know, we've got Facebook. If it has affected you today, do reach out.
Yeah.
You know, if you feel like you need this prayer, ask us and we'll happily pray for you. You know,
all I will say at that point is don't message Alan because he won't respond.
Okay, I'll rephrase that. Message me or Tom.
We'll respond.
And then we'll kick Alan until
block, delete.
Yeah. It is, and I think I love that. I mean, we felt we wanted to talk about that tonight, didn't we, mate? Because I think in the pub as well, when you chat to your mates and you're sharing news like that,
it gets real, doesn't it?
It gets real. Well,
when I go to the pub with my mate, they literally ask me almost every week, "How's your eyes? How's it going? What's happening?"
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And that's what we want to do. And also for me, it was important to say, for your faith has made a difference to how you're navigating this whole. And I've seen it from outside in, and. Just for we were all experience these things in life, and you know, like you say, when you first become a Christian, you wanted to tell your mates, you know, and maybe you know you feel looking back. I know when we chat, you don't even feel like you maybe did it in the most helpful way when you're super excited.
Oh yeah.
But in the same way,
cringe.
We've experienced something in the midst of great difficulty that has been life changing for you.
And you want that has completely changed my life. Completely. And probably me kids and kids' lives, you know what I mean? That type of stuff. It completely changed my life. And I wasn't even like searching for it. I wasn't even looking for it. But it's completely changed the trajectory of what I would have been or done. I would have well, obviously I wouldn't have been a minister of a church if I didn't come to faith. But completely changed that. You know?
Very good.
Anyway.
Very good. We've talked about some serious stuff there, and I think
it's time to bring the tone down.
Well, no. I was gonna actually continue it with a bit of Tom's top tips.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, Tom. That is definitely bringing the tone down.
Well, no. You've
had some shockers, mate.
No.
You've had some stuff that like my mum would share on her wall.
Exactly.
Like,
what's the problem with that?
Live, laugh, love.
Yeah. That wasn't me.
Splish, splash, splash.
that live, life, laugh, love. That one wasn't me, but it could have been. People have said, was that you? And did she write the book off what you said? And I've said it could have been. I'd say lots of things I don't.
That you don't write down.
I give freely.
Yeah.
Freely I've received. I distribute. But this week I went
Shout out PJ. He's in the chat. Good man.
PJ. Oh, sorry. PJ who?
Paul Jones. He's there. He's my best mate. Don't read that comment. Don't put it on. Don't put it on. He's trying to get me.
Is he?
Not today, PJ.
Well, I'm tempted to stitch you right up, but we'll move on. Anyway, so what I've gone with today is, and this is we've been deep. We're going to stay deep for a little bit longer. Let this land for you, Mikey.
Okay.
Yesterday, I was clever. So I wanted to change the world. Today, I'm wise. So I'm changing myself.
Wow.
Alan?
I have no words. I literally have no words.
You know what I prefer?
Yeah.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away.
No, that's a song.
But now...
That's a song.
But now I'm sat next to you chatting some wham. You are chatting some wham there.
There you go.
In the comments, come on. What do you think of that Tom's top tips?
It's Tom's.
Do you know what?
Well, your dad thinks it's deep at least.
Thank you, Dad. Ray, I think it's auto-corrected because Ray said cringe Tom, but I think that must be auto-correct. I don't know what that means. Deep Tom, I think it meant.
Yeah. He must. I think it auto-corrected from Tom, you've just changed my life.
Yeah.
And now I'm a
said,
better person for it.
Yeah, Dawn said you're all fab. And that's
Thank you, Dawn.
Tal said I'd change if I was a Tory too.
Oh, that's a contender. That's a contender for Nugget.
Although she's already bought
already
a ticket,
got one.
so we don't. She can't win.
Tal, you're
And
on fire every week. You know.
Pete said, "Oh no, not Tom's top
Only
tip.
got a week
It's
to buy
Tom's
them,
terrible Tory tip." Wow.
Tom's Tory tips, we said, didn't he?
Sometimes
That's what we said. Tom's Tory tips.
Tom's Tory tips. Anyway, all right. Well, we're going to play a game. We're going to play a game, and we haven't
looking
told.
forward
I've
to
kept this secret from Alan, but we are going to play Finnegan's Fortunes, and I've kept it secret, so he doesn't know what it's going to be. And so let's see. So he's going to need your help at home.
No, because I want to win this church match.
He does want to win the church match.
Because I don't already own it all.
You don't, yeah.
Ray's Horn has been captive for too long.
I think if you can win Ray's Horn.
And today is the day that we as a community, we rise up, we elevate ourselves
and you're going to win.
to a position
Do you know what? Last week, if you didn't see it,
where we can get Ray's Horn.
Rob Thomas last week,
proper serious,
he proper serious about it. And he's like challenging me, like bringing it to me. And he was fuming afterwards.
He lost.
Kings of Leon, he got into plural and all that kind of thing. And I just wasn't having any of it. And I can tell you right now, you will not win tonight. I'm laying the gauntlet down. And you can help.
I'll tell you right now, I will not win tonight.
You can help.
Do you think I want to take any of this stuff home with me? Hey,
you can help Alan at home, but I can tell you what, I'll be impressed. We've started what it is. We've started watching Christmas films at home.
Okay.
We have a tradition in the Grant household.
Already.
We put all our Christmas films into a pot, and when we're going to watch a movie, kids draw one out.
Nice.
And so I've asked 100 people this week.
Which means your kids.
100. I've asked 100 people when I can find the thing.
Come on, Emma, tell me what's in your pot.
We asked 100 people to name their favourite Christmas movie.
Wow.
And so I'm the judge on this. I'm the judge on these. Even though I've asked 100 people, I was involved in the process.
Okay.
So what I've said goes, and you can't change it.
Well, I'm going straight in there with my favourite Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want any help from anyone?
No.
Just confident?
Just
you're going to go?
3 lives lost straight away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Move on. Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Good movie.
Top movie.
Great movie.
Big debate,
Don't say it's not there. If it's not there, I'm going to fume and I'm going to throw the
Big
pool
debate
table at you.
as to whether or not it is a Christmas movie.
Is it a Christmas
Of course,
movie?
it's a Christmas movie.
It is a
Do you
Christmas
know what I
movie.
mean?
Christmas.
Anyone who says
What's
it
the
isn't.
Alan Rickman,
wrong.
isn't it? Alan
Yeah,
Rickman
he's
doing a
just passed
dodgy
away.
Bruce
German.
Willis.
He's just
in
passed
a
away.
Weird
Alan
German
Rickman.
accent. Do you know you're good at it?
He was in Harry Potter as well.
He was. Well,
Don't know, never watched it.
okay. So your people in the comments help Alan out. He's going to need all the help he can
If
get.
Die Hard's not on there, I'm fuming.
If Die Hard's not on there,
I don't know. You've been literally walking around Tory lands asking
we
if Die Hard
asked
is not on
100
there.
people to name their
100
favourite
people
movie.
from Hampshire.
Alan says Die Hard.
Yeah,
It's the top answer.
and you can't
Get
kid
in.
me with Die Hard 2 as well. I'm not having the. They can't do that on me.
No,
Yeah. How many Die Hards were
no,
there?
no one's going to say that.
3 or 4, I think. But
Well,
Die Harder.
That was like, how did that get passed in the
I don't
planning
know.
meeting?
So Die Hard. Okay.
Good start.
I'm going for another one.
Okay, let's see what you got to
Straight
say.
in. It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Is it though?
We've
Black
talked.
and white film I'm on about.
No, is it a wonderful life?
Yeah.
We've got quite deep tonight, haven't we? We've gone quite deep, and
All right. We'll
is it a
rename
Wonderful
the
life?
film. It's not a bad life.
Yeah, that's a
It's
sequel.
an all right life.
That's a sequel.
It's a
That is
wonderful
a
life,
sequel.
but sometimes you have to do asbestos survey.
Yeah. So you're going with It's a Wonderful Life.
I am.
Okay.
Oof.
We asked 100 people, and is It's a Wonderful Life up there?
Oh.
You need to introduce your kids to It's a Wonderful Life.
Do you know what? All I'm going to say is, and I don't care if
There'll be
people
kids'
kick off about this at
films
home.
on here, won't
That's
there?
an old person's film. No
It's
one
not, it's
my
a
age.
Bosch film.
No one my age or younger has heard of it.
Watch it.
If we've heard of it, we haven't watched
Watch
it.
it.
Have you watched it?
James Stewart in it.
I'm going to hold my hands up
Yeah.
and confess that this 1989 baby
Yeah.
has never even heard of it.
There you go. Thank you. It's an old
Never
person
even heard
thing.
of it, mate. I'm
It's an
sorry.
old
Well, you know,
person
like
thing.
when classics that you talk to me about, that's a classic for Christmas.
Right.
Watch
I'll
it.
have to get onto it.
The story is he basically it's about him being there and being in the town, and he's gonna think he doesn't think he amounts to much,
Spoiler alert, by
and
the
he
way.
can't. He finds out that if he wasn't around, all the bad things that would have happened but because he's there, loads of good stuff happens. He finds out, sort of thing.
Oh,
Unless I've seen a different film.
Well, it's not up there.
No, that was Rocky.
Yeah. And then he knocked the other fella out.
Okay, I'm going for The Grinch.
The Grinch.
Oh, what a film.
What? Is that a Christmas film?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're having us on now.
We asked 100 people their favourite Christmas movie. You're saying The Grinch.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What?
Sorry, mate.
Unbelievable.
He's
I
definitely
told you
asking
he
around
wasn't going to
Hampshire.
get it. Do you want me to?
I need help now.
You need help
You know-
from people at home, don't you? Okay, let's
You know,
have a
I've
look.
not seen the answers. I'll tell you my
Yeah, go on.
favourite
Go on, you
Christmas
throw it out
movie.
there.
You give us
Because
a
it
shout.
contains the most iconic line in any film ever. Which
I'll
is
be back.
no, yeah, that famous Christmas movie, yeah.
Gonna need a bigger boat.
Which is no cheeses for these Mises.
I saw you put this up on Twitter or something, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
I've got
Mate,
no idea.
the Muppets Christmas Carol
Oh, okay.
is single-handedly the best Christmas movie of all
That's
time,
okay.
It's on this
and no
list.
one
Okay.
can convince me otherwise.
It's not on Tom's list. That.
Okay, do you want me to give you some
come on,
help?
Give us a
The
shout.
Muppets
Tom.
Okay,
Christmas
here we
Carol. Come
go. Oh, Debbie's throwing some. 1 second. Debbie's throwing some tips in there. Cast a shadow on yesterday's disappointments, for the future is how you make it. Look, Debbie. There's only one person with tips in this.
And
to
now
get in
it's
on me?
Debbie because you've
Are
been
you sure?
sacked.
Are you sure you didn't say that and she's copying something you've said?
Are you quoting? Is she
might
quoting
have
me
quoted
back
you
to
back,
me?
yeah.
I think she has.
She has, yeah. She has.
I think she's
Must
quoted
have.
me back at me.
Must have.
Um,
Wisdom beyond Solomon.
Paul said Tom's Tory tip sounds like a terrible cup of tea. That's pretty good, actually. That's pretty
Who said
good.
that?
Pretty
Right.
good.
Paul Jones.
My mate
Is he
PJ.
your mate?
Yeah, yeah.
PJ and Duncan is in PJ. Is that?
That's
You
in Paul
don't know
Jones.
who PJ and Duncan are, do you?
Yeah,
Too young for that one again.
And
And
that's,
Dech,
that's what Ant and Deck used to be called.
PJ and Duncan, yeah.
Yeah,
Before their name change.
yeah.
Before the.
You're making me feel old.
Oh,
now.
wait there. Is this... No, one sec. Is this Biter Grove?
Am I getting?
Yeah.
Am I
Okay,
getting
yeah,
any?
there you go,
Am I
fine.
getting any more tips?
Yeah,
Like,
sorry.
except-
Go on.
I haven't
No,
had
the
any
names
yet.
of their characters, yeah.
Here we go. Die Hard. Elf.
Oh, yeah.
Elf from Emma. Elf from Cammy. My mate Cammy in Scotland. We are on every continent
Elf.
tonight. We've got the continent of Scotland as well, mate.
Yeah. It's
And
a
then-
Will Ferrell movie, and Alan's confessed
Yeah.
to us that he's never seen
He's never
Anchorman.
seen.
I've seen Anchorman.
Pete Smullen.
I just didn't think it was funny.
Oh,
as
don't
you
even
Oh,
did.
say that.
you're about to
Don't
get
even
barred
say that. Pete
already.
Smullen, Home Alone,
Ah.
and The Grinch Die Hard. I've not seen that one of The Grinch Die Hard.
I'm going
Home
Home
Alone.
Home Alone.
Home Alone.
It's gotta be.
It's got to be
Gotta
up
be
there.
up there.
Christmas movie.
Gotta be.
Everyone seems to be saying Home Alone. Is it up there? Let's have a look. Our survey says it's up there.
Oh.
It's the third answer.
Third top
It's the
answer.
third answer.
Wow. I'm going Elf as well.
Elf.
Oh,
Yeah.
bang.
You're just like, if these people weren't here to help you, you'd be all over the
I'd
place.
be all
Wouldn't you? You'd
over
be
the
done
place,
by
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I'd be
You
well
would
out,
be
yeah.
done. So you're saying straight away, Elf. You're going to lean on everyone else's help.
Yeah. I'll have
Because you're
to.
helpless. And so there we go. It's
Yeah.
the sixth answer.
Wow.
Wow.
There we
so
go.
How many have I got left to do? Two, three.
You've got three
Three
left.
left.
to get, and you've only got one life.
I know that.
You're halfway there.
I
Yeah.
need some.
You're living
You
on
need
a
some
prayer.
more help.
Okay. I mean, there's.
The Snowman. Miriam, good shout. The
Oh,
Snowman.
wow.
Emma Grant, the Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that,
I have
but it's a pun.
seen
It's a
that.
play on words because Claus is actually
Yeah.
the Claus.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for one that's a classic
All right.
Christmas
Doesn't
song.
want any help from at home. Doesn't want any help. Just wants to do it on his
film,
own. Film.
but
Yeah.
isn't about Christmas. But
Okay.
it's on every Christmas.
Okay.
So that makes it a Christmas film, doesn't it?
It could do.
Yep. It's not going to be on your wall.
It's a controversial one here.
Go on.
This is your last life, though.
Well,
he could say
tell
anything.
me some more then, and then
Because
I'm still going to say that one in my head. So
Okay.
I could just say 5 minutes of everyone's
All right.
life.
Here we go, because there's some good shouts here. The Christmas Chronicles, The Polar Express. Here we go. Nightmare Before Christmas. Is that a good one again? I don't know. Is that
That's the one with like the guy with the pumpkin head.
Is
And it's
it?
like animated. He's got,
Miracle
like,
on
the spindly arms on it.
34th Street?
Oh,
Jingle
that's a shout.
all the way.
That's a shout, that.
Miracle on 34th Street
Deadpool.
is a shout.
Deadpool.
I'm going for Miracle on 34th Street.
Wait.
Final answer.
Arthur Christmas.
Well, he's locked it
Are
in.
you sure? Was that
I've
the one?
locked it in.
Was that the one you were going to
No,
go for?
it
Miracle on
wasn't.
34th
I'll tell you that
Street.
one in a minute.
This is the man who said, "I don't care what you say. I'm going to go for the one I'm going to go for." And then someone suggested something different. You instantly folded.
I'm allowed to change my mind, son.
That's all right. Okay. So what are you going for again?
Changed my mind on you, didn't I?
Yeah. Which way round though? From liking me or not liking me?
There was all that chat about your
Let's
ex-girlfriend that really
Yeah,
won around.
really swung it. He thought. Okay. So what did you say you were going for?
That one. Miracle on
You forgot-
34th
you
Street.
forgot- Okay. That one. The one I forgot. Okay. Miracle on 34th Street. We asked 100 people.
Macy's.
Is it there?
Oh, hey.
Sorry
I was
about
going
that,
to
mate.
say Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
Oh, it is on every Christmas.
Is that a Christmas movie?
It's on every Christmas.
Well,
All
it
right.
definitely
It's
wouldn't have
not
been
a
on this
Christmas
list, would
movie.
it?
It won't have been on Tom's list.
Would you like to see the rest of the list?
Yeah, come
Go
on.
on.
Although
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't actually
Okay.
see it.
All right. That's because you've not got them on it and not because
know,
of your
yeah.
eyes.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, could Alan read them anyway?
No.
Probably
Okay.
from here I could.
Here we go. Here we go. Number 5,
Okay.
Harry Potter. Classic. Popular.
Really popular.
Harry Potter, a Christmas film.
Yeah.
The first one.
I'm not having it.
The
Harry
first
Potter
one.
has been proved quite popular
Yeah.
amongst our viewers as well.
Yeah.
No, you
Okay.
didn't say that one out, Dowler, did you? To give me the choice.
No. Okay. Well, no one suggested it.
He's just said.
Number 4, The Santa Claus.
Oh, that's what Laura said, wasn't
That's classic, that. And number 2. Here we go. Should have got this one out.
What?
Nativity.
it? Oh, that with Martin
Nativity.
Freeman.
With who? Oh, yeah, Martin Freeman.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought you were talking
That's
about
dead.
Morgan Freeman for a second. I thought that was
No,
a
no,
different
that's
film.
that's the Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
That famous Christmas film.
Tom names his kids after. Sure,
That's
Shank.
only proper fans of the podcast would remember that one. But
That is a deep callback.
If you got that
What
callback,
a
long
callback.
callback, that one.
if you got that callback, well played.
Yeah.
Well played. You're one of the proper nuggets.
You're one of the
You
OGs.
are a nugget.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Well, we've been going for ages,
We've
Alan.
gone- Yeah, too long.
I mean, honest, in the interview, he was just going on, but I didn't know how to stop him.
Yeah.
So, so we just had to keep on rolling. I was
Yeah.
thinking,
You
can't
got
even
me
stop him.
rolling.
He's singing now. That's when you know
That's
it's
the
time
cue
to
to
wrap
just
up
cut-
for the
cut
night.
the stream.
But before we do so, let's just see. Hang on. People were going for it. Christmas Carol, Scrooge, Barbara, good one.
Scrooge.
Sound of Music.
Scrooge
Sound
should
of
have been on there.
Music.
Scrooge had to be on there.
I can't believe a Muppets Christmas Carol wasn't on there. You are asking the wrong people.
My dad just said not a Christmas movie. I like that. It's like, no. How did we forget the Nativity? Yeah, how did you forget it? It's not Christmas without the Grinch. Well, Debbie, we asked 100 people. It's not up there. So
I can't believe the Grinch wasn't up there.
I can't believe
it
it.
wasn't up there either.
I can't believe it, but that's the way it was. We're going to have to live with it. So basically, what happens now, Alan, you might not be familiar with the format,
No.
but what
No.
happens is we've
Tell
got an
me.
exclusive membership at Finnegan's. Exclusive. These people have been voted in.
Yeah.
Not anyone, not any old person can join Finnegan's.
Yeah.
We don't allow any riff-raff in at Finnegan's. So you get to tell a funny story. If it's funny and people like it at home, then
Get him on the wall.
get
lad.
him on the wall. Are
Get
you
him
are
on
you
the wall,
actually
lad.
on the wall already?
I am.
Where are you?
Over there.
he's in. I love that you're up in the top corner and you've actually put your full name just
Yeah.
in case people didn't realise
In
it
case
was
you
you.
didn't realise it was me. Yeah.
Yeah. So Alan Finnegan's up there
Founding
already.
member.
But what happens is if you tell a story and it's a stinker,
Yeah.
what will happen is
You're bad,
you
lad.
get barred from your own pub. And do you know what I'm telling? I'm selling to people at home.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is your chance.
History.
No
be
one
made.
has ever been barred before.
No one.
We get rid of this fella
It's
over
the
here.
end.
It's no longer Finnegan's.
No.
It's Wednesday night at Tim Brown's, and it could be a wonderful thing. So don't go easy on him. Let's
could
see
be.
if it's not funny. It's not funny.
It could be.
Could be. Alan.
No pressure.
I'm going to go for the funniest thing I ever seen in church. I mean, you see some funny things. We've seen fights in our church. We've seen all sorts of stuff. But the funniest thing I ever seen in a church service, right?
Okay.
So it was a kind of like one of them charismatic-y type of ones, you know, where everyone's got their hands in the air and all that. It was really, it was quite a good service, this
Yeah.
one. It wasn't in our church, this. It was in a holiday kind of conference setting. And
Right.
me and the Dodd had bunked into this meeting that we weren't supposed to be in, okay? It was like someone else's meeting and we'd gone in. and we're stood there. We're stood nearish the back, and as the first song starts, we're just trying to be a little bit incognito because we don't want anyone to know that we've bunked in and not paid to get in, right? So we're stood at the back. And
I mean, you do have to pay for Jesus, don't you?
You have to pay for this conference, you see. But we were sort of there on the sly, so we just went in. So anyway, as he stands up to sing the first worship song, this old fella stands up at the back, and his kecks fell to his ankles, right? Like literally right down to his ankle. And he didn't even try and stop them, right? He literally just looked and went, oh. Kind of, there they go again.
This is always happening.
I mean, slowly pulled them back up. Yeah. Honestly, slowly pulled them back up. I'm stood there. Ian's next to me. We don't acknowledge it at all, right? We go through the whole meeting, and then in the last song, I just leaned over to Ian and went, "By the way, that fella's kecks," and Ian bursts out laughing. To which I burst out laughing. I ended up on the floor laughing, which in a charismatic way is all right. You know what I mean? You've nailed it. You've nailed it.
They're like, yes.
And I was literally, I couldn't breathe. I was laughing that much. And then the next day, we went to the meeting again.
Yeah.
There's the fella with a pair of rainbow braces.
Nice.
It was
nice.
Top.
I mean, I've heard of people like falling over in the Spirit before, but I've never known the Holy Spirit to just keck people. Like,
imagine if that was a thing.
Do you remember when you used to do that in PE? You used to sneak right behind someone and just be like, whoop!
Oh no!
Used to do it in footy.
Yeah,
you know, if you had someone who was good at footy, pull the shorts down. They always went, and you got the ball off them.
The Holy Spirit just sneaking around going, Alan's gonna like this one.
No, so that's the funniest thing I've ever seen in church, and I've seen some funny things. I've had Tom stitch me up with people playing pianos and all sorts.
I have. Yeah. Let us know. We'll save that story for another time. We'll save that story for another time. But let us know right then. Do you want Alan in the bar? Think about it. Think carefully.
Think really deeply, guys.
Think deeply.
You could be saving me.
Could be
this nonsense.
He's
because let's just think about the facts here, Tom.
Yeah, go on.
Because Alan was in a meeting.
Yeah.
There was a vulnerable old gentleman at the back who became
more vulnerable.
In need.
Yeah.
And what did he do? What did he do?
Yeah. Laughed in his face.
I didn't laugh straight away.
Laughed in his face.
It took me 50 minutes to
Alan,
laugh.
you are a terrible human being, mate.
We already know that. Tell me something new, Mikey.
And you need Jesus.
Yeah.
And so what I suggest is a hiatus from this
to
place.
bar him.
While you go away and think about what
you've done. I think you might be getting bars in a minute.
I'm joking.
Very good.
That was genuinely like hilarious.
That was very funny. Let's see.
It's the funniest thing I've ever seen, honestly. I was literally crying on my belly, and I was on the floor. So Ian was on the chairs, lying across the chairs, laughing. Honestly.
I like braces though. I'd love
the
to be able
braces
to
the
pull
next
off
day.
braces.
Braces, honestly, rainbow braces.
The fact that they were just there.
I like to think his wife's finally said to him like, "This can't happen anymore."
It's happened too much.
I think this was the type of fella that didn't marry.
Oh right.
Bless him.
He just had that look about him.
Yeah.
He surprised me. I was genuinely surprised as well by him, you know.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's see.
Shall we put him out of his misery?
Yeah, let's put him out of his misery. Drum roll, please. Ray. Let's start with Ray. Get him on the wall, lad. We can't afford to pay Tory prices for beer. Wow, that is going to be good. Tal saying get him on the wall. Okay, get him on the wall quick. He did have a few. He had underwear on, Pete saying, the fella, so that's okay. Craig's on the wall. Laura's
big pair
saying,
of white fronts. The proper white fronts. No. Remember the massive ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Emma said,
honest, funniest thing I've ever seen.
Emma said he's got the keys, so we need him. Put him on the wall.
I mean,
Cammy on the wall.
On a technicality, he might just squeeze in.
He might just squeeze in. Yeah. Keep it. Peter Finnegan said we need to keep it Finnegan's. So
there you go.
There you go, Peter. I think that's it. Barbara said, shouldn't you have helped him pull his kecks up?
I think that would have been classed as abuse.
I don't.
You don't want to get involved in that, Barbara.
Yeah, you can't. I think that's the thing in it, because you could go and help, but you could end up. It
could end up messy.
I think what you have to do is pretend it hasn't happened.
Yeah, that's what we did.
We
pretend
did that. It hasn't happened
until the very last song, and I couldn't hold it in anymore.
Yeah.
And then I was literally in floods of tears.
It's one of those
and then
things...
we tried to go back to the place where everyone else was, because they didn't bunk into the meeting because they were all too nice and Christian about it. Wouldn't bunk into the meeting. Went back and tried to tell them the story, and they just didn't get it. It was just like, because he hadn't wore the braces then, you see, the next day.
Yeah. And I think, do you know what I think? I don't know what I think.
You don't know what you
I
think,
don't know what I think, but the people have spoken. It's going to stay Finnegan's.
Yes.
You're staying on the wall.
And rightly so, I think.
Rightly so. I
Yeah.
think we're all happy with that. We're all happy with that.
Yeah.
Well done.
Everyone felt...
He was
those
trying to
good
get me
feely
back,
feels.
wasn't he? That
No, it's great. It's good. Just get some proper heating in this place, because I am freezing.
You're freezing. You've got the heater there.
Yeah.
3 bar.
It's not
I've got
doing
this
a
little
thing, mate.
stupid thing here.
No, I'm definitely going to be writing to my MP about the landlord of this place,
I
you know.
That's
Yeah,
it.
well, we'd have to put the prices of the beer up.
Yeah. Wait,
And-
are you
and
charging us for this?
Who's the Tory now, Alan?
That's it. Look, Green. Taking money from the working man.
Working man. You're both ministers. Working man.
Very good. Oh, well, we're there. I think we're there for the evening now.
Yes,
we're there.
boys.
Very good. It's been a good night. It's been a good night. It's not been the best guest we've had, but it's been okay.
No.
He's been all right, yeah.
It's a mixed bag.
We sort of bluffed
Yeah,
our way
we
through,
did,
didn't we? A
didn't
week
we?
where we had no guest.
Yeah. But it's been a good
Next
crack.
week, Mikey will be sitting here.
Yeah, that's it. It'll be musical chairs.
I was going to say, Alan,
Musical
how do we,
chairs.
like, me and you need to learn how to do this so that we can
that's
get
it.
to
Get rid of me.
get Tom to be
Sorry,
a guest.
Tommy. And you would end up off the wall.
Do you
wouldn't
know what?
Yeah.
Try and bar me. See what happens.
See what happens.
Yeah.
I'll take my computer on with me.
I'm taking my football and going home.
I'll take my Rodecaster Pro with me too.
I will do as well. Very good. All right.
Thanks, guys, for tonight. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Thanks,
pipe
Alan.
down.
All
All
right.
right. Pipe down. You've had your time. So the best guest ever. Tao, don't encourage him. It was mediocre at best. Fab
need to
night.
zoom
Well
over
done
to the
from
week.
Craig. All right. Honestly, the guest doesn't get involved in stuff like this.
I'm just prompting you because
Okay,
I
well,
know what you like. You forget what you're saying mid-sentence.
Well, you can't. Well, tell us a comment then. Tell us a comment. Who got Nugget of the week?
Ray.
We can. Ray's already bought a ticket.
Well, you said tell me a comment. He's just said
well, what
one.
was his comment then?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it was said funny. We all laughed 5 minutes ago.
We all laughed, Ray. He can't remember what it was though, Grandad. So, Tom's next week guest. That's what Mandy said. Do you know what? It's not. It's not actually
No,
Mandy
we're not here.
because we're not here
We're in the
next
packet
week.
Partying
steamer
it
next
up.
week. You'll have to get your tickets.
You have to get your tickets. So we are in the packet steamer next week. Emma's going to sing a couple of songs.
Yeah.
With Phil. Phil's going to play piano.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
We'll
Emma's
have-
going to sing a couple. We've got musical entertainment. We've got Steve Cookson's coming down. We might be able to twist his arm, do a bit of comedy.
Mark
Williams. You
again.
forgot his name as well, didn't
I
you?
didn't. No. At least I knew him.
I knew Mark.
You didn't know Mark when you were like blagging him to play on your wife's album and all
No,
that.
well, no,
Come on.
I didn't know him then, but
You
I know
see?
him. I
You
know
know
him
him now.
now.
I've known
I
him
know
well
him
longer.
now. Well, yeah, and he didn't like you.
Yeah.
Mark's going to be there, hopefully, still, unless he's watched this. And we've got Mikey, Laura. We've got loads of people. Well, you're still not committed with the babysitter.
They've got
Well,
a babysitter.
They've got a
We
babysitter.
always get one.
Okay, all
So,
right.
someone always shows up. The Lord shall provide.
The Lord shall provide, and you will leave your children with anyone to have a night out.
Happily. If anyone wants them
months
in the
on
chat.
end.
Look at, hang on in the chat now. It's getting Ray, Janet saying Ray can donate his free ticket to her. No, that's not how it works. The idea is the free ticket then buys a +1.
Yeah,
Cammy's gutted to be missing it next week. He is in Scotland. That is, I mean, it's a bit far to come.
We
innit?
could give him the free ticket.
We could, yeah, Cammy. You have as many free tickets as you want, mate.
Yeah.
Very good. Oh, Andy Campsell used to work at the packet steamer. It's very nice. It's a bit.
Nice.
It is a bit upmarket.
It is a bit up market, yeah.
And
That's
Barbara
'cause
says,
Tom picked it.
yeah. And Barbara says Mikey lives in our road. Is that right? Do you live in the road of
Have
Barbara
you,
Russell?
have you seen me? Well, I won't say it down like
Yeah,
online.
Yeah.
because there are, of course, still
Loads
a few
of
dodgy
those.
Yeah,
subscribers
there are,
on your YouTube channel.
Obviously, Barbara lives in the same road as Mikey.
Nah.
Barbara, you might be
you
our
know
next
Barbara
guest.
then, yeah?
Yeah.
Up the Wavertree Massive.
Yeah. Very. Barbara's a legend.
Crumpet
And
Barbara.
Barbara's going to be there next
She's
week as well.
coming.
She's
She's got
bought.
a free
She
ticket.
won a ticket.
Yeah.
And so she's going to be there. So
Yeah.
next week, we're not on. We're we're Christmas at Finnegan's.
Yeah.
Get your tickets if you're local. If you're in the Northwest, we've got people coming over from Manchester.
We have.
There are people coming from other countries.
Yeah.
And it's not Wales. It's further than Wales.
Yeah.
We're talking European nations.
We are.
People are flying in for Christmas at Finnegan's.
Just for this.
For this?
Yeah.
Can you believe it? I can't.
No.
But it will happen. So come and join us.
It'll happen.
It'll happen.
We don't know what'll happen, but something's going to happen.
Me and Alan are going to plan it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a good night. So come and join us. And then the following week on the 21st,
We're back.
We're going to be back. We're going to be here, and
Yeah.
we're going to do something Christmassy, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll have
So
love
that'll
Christmas.
be good fun as well. So come and join us. It'll be fantastic. Great. Lovely
we've
to
got-
have everyone in for the night.
Might have Danny back on that one, mightn't we?
Danny.
I think I've asked him.
Yeah.
I think I have.
The son-in-law.
Yeah, the
He's gonna
son-in-law.
be back.
Buzz,
Buzz Lightyear.
if you're a fan of the pod, Buzz Lightyear.
He's going to be
back.
in for the
Buzz
evening.
Lightyear himself.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a top night. I think
What a
that's
story
everything.
that
Do you know
was.
what? Numbers-wise, it's been great tonight. We had loads in. So
Very good.
if you wouldn't mind, give us a little share tonight. Share the video. Invite people to come along to Finnegan's. Help get the word out there. You know that we're it'd be appreciated, wouldn't it, Mike?
Oh yes, I think, you know, I'm obsessed with like stats and algorithms and stuff like that. Like, guys, you don't know how much it would mean to us if you shared today's video. So if you can do that, please do it. It sends the word of the pod further than you will ever think.
Very good,
So yeah, please do that.
Australia.
Mikey. Australia.
Oh,
Oi, you still haven't done it. Nuggets
What?
of the week. You haven't picked
No,
it.
you said Ray, didn't you?
No, I wasn't picking it.
No, I'm letting you pick
You're
it.
picking it.
Nugget of the week.
You pick it. I can't pick it. I'm the guest.
A Cammy in Scotland.
you're so tight.
The rich stay richer.
That's proper going back to his Tory roots.
Yeah,
My dad
yeah.
didn't have a job and he got on his bike and he looked for work. He cycled from Scotland for a gig. He's got rid of me off the mic.
I'm just muting you there. It's like, you know, when your granddad starts ranting and you're like, we have to pipe down. That's what's happened tonight. Very good, very good. Okay, I'm going to give you Ray. I'm going to give you a +1. And if you want to bring Janet, that's fine. It'd be lovely to see Janet there.
Right.
This is a moment. It's a proud moment
I've been
for you,
waiting for
Mikey.
this like all my life. Mum, if you're watching, shout
not.
out to you. I know you're proud of me.
In the way that parents have to be proud of you, don't they?
Yeah, because there's nothing else.
Very
that will make
good.
it proud,
Very
to be
good.
fair.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Mikey, for co-hosting. Thank you to
my
Alan
pleasure.
for being on tonight. He's already getting off. Can you not wind the cable like that, Alan? It breaks it. All right. Have a great. Look, what is it? Oh, he's taking the mic out and everything. God, look, he's off.
He's coming
off.
over
Oh,
to-
flipping
to-
heck, he's coming to deck me. That's
Well,
all right.
he's going to show the example
is.
of what he wants people to do to you
That's
in the street.
Do you know what? No physical violence will be happening next week. Anyway, we've got to go. God bless you. Have a fantastic week. We will see you next week at Christmas at Finnegan's, if not the week after. Have a fantastic one. Take care.
Take care.